Good evening, good evening, good evening. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another live edition of Pro Wrestling Talk brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram, coming at you live on the U to the Tube. We got a good bit to talk about tonight. Gonna talk some Stardom, gonna recap the standings for the Best of Super Juniors and World Tag League tournaments going on in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Gonna go over the card for NXT War Games, which is this Sunday. Let's see. We got a lot to talk about. We got a good amount of stuff to talk about. We're gonna go over my recent experience at Wrestlecade 2021 that took place last weekend, so I'll go over that. Gonna talk some AEW, a couple of other things as well. But yeah, should be a good show tonight. Welcome to all for being here. But let's get started. Gonna get started with some Stardom news, some breaking Stardom news. So, Konami of Oedo Tai has announced that she is going to be taking a hiatus from pro wrestling and leaving Stardom temporarily after Stardom's Dream Queendom December 29th show. She's going to take a hiatus to focus on her recovery and her personal well-being. So, she's got a lot that she's still recovering from. I know she recently returned, but she wants to take a hiatus to, recover more. It was only temporary, so she wants to focus on her personal well-being, which is totally understandable. Wish the best for Konami. And her last match before her hiatus will be at Stardom Dream Queendom, where she has been challenged by Julia of Donna Del Mundo, the leader of Donna Del Mundo, who will be making her return match at this event. It's been about 3 or 4 months since Julia last wrestled. So it's been a good while. So in Julia's return match, she will take on Konami. But it'll be sad to see Konami go. But hey, take care of your personal health, your mental health, your well-being. Hey, do what you got to do. I know that Stardom will definitely miss her. Oedo Tai will definitely miss her. And that pretty much explains why she didn't end up being booked to win the SWA title from Shuri. Because it really would have been nice to see her win that title. But, if she's going to be taking time away from pro wrestling to focus on her well-being and recovery, her personal well-being, then hey, I'm all for that. I think that's very important. But yeah, gonna really miss the submission sniper. But I hope and pray speedy recovery for Konami, and that everything goes well and whatever she has to do to return. Which she did say, this won't be her last match. This isn't the end of her career or anything. But, taking the time off, make sure she recovers so she can come back 100% at full strength, however long that will take. It was noted that she may make occasional appearances at Stardom, but it's going to depend on pretty much her state. It's going to pretty much depend on her state. So if anything, I think she should definitely take her time, do what she has to do and such. At least she knows she still has a home in Stardom, and at least this isn't permanent. This is only temporary. So my prayers and wishes go out to Konami. Get well soon, speedy recovery, do what you got to do. Okay, that's pretty much all that I have right now for Stardom. I mean, that was pretty much the big news that's happened, that was announced this week. Let's recap the current standings of the New Japan Pro Wrestling Best of Super Juniors tournament and the World Tag League. Let's start with the Best of Super Juniors update. So I'm basing this off of today's update. So let's look at the current standings. 1 second while I get a drink of water. Okay. Let's see what we got here. So right now, Best of Super Juniors 28. Right now, sitting at the bottom with 4 points is Doki. Wow, it's kind of a bummer because he kind of started off strong. But he has victories over Yo and Bushi, but has lost to Ryusuke Taguchi, Robbie Eagles, El Desperado, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, El Fantasma, and Sho. And he's only got about two or three matches left. All right. And then sitting at, he's got 4 points. So sitting at 6 points is Master Wato. Master Wato has victories over Ryusuke Taguchi, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and El Fantasma, but he has lost to Robbie Eagles, Yo, El Desperado, Taiji Ishimori, and Sho. So 3 matches left for him. All right. We got a couple of competitors tied with 8 points, which are Ryusuke Taguchi, Robbie Eagles, Yo, Bushi, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, Taiji Ishimori, and El Fantasma. So a lot of folks with 8 points. Okay, Ryusuke Taguchi. He has victories over Robbie Eagles, Yo, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and Doki, but he has losses over Master Wato, Hiromu Takahashi, Bushi, and Sho. Okay, 3 matches left. Robbie Eagles. He has victories over Master Wato, Bushi, and Doki and El Fantasma, but he has lost to Ryusuke Taguchi, Yo, El Desperado, and Taiji Ishimori. Okay, 3 matches left. Yo has victories over Master Wato, Robbie Eagles, El Desperado, and Taiji Ishimori. He has losses to Ryusuke Taguchi, Hiromu Takahashi, Bushi, and Doki. Okay. Bushi, he has victories over Ryusuke Taguchi, Yo, Taiji Ishimori, and El Fantasma, but he has lost to Robbie Eagles, Hiromu Takahashi, Doki, and Sho. All right. Yoshinobu Kanemaru, he has victories over Doki, Taiji Ishimori, El Fantasma, and Sho, but he has lost to Ryusuke Taguchi, Master Wato, Hiromu Takahashi, and El Desperado. Taiji Ishimori, let's see, he has defeated Master Wato, Robbie Eagles, Hiromu Takahashi, El Desperado. He has lost to Yo, Bushi, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and El Fantasma. And then El Fantasma, he has victories over Hiromu Takahashi, Doki, Taiji Ishimori, and Sho, but he has lost to Master Wato, Robbie Eagles, Bushi, Yoshinobu Kanemaru. So all those names that I announced, they all have 8 points. Okay. We have 2 competitors at 9 points, which are Hiromu Takahashi and El Desperado. All right, so let's look at Hiromu Takahashi. He has victories over Ryusuke Taguchi, Yo, Bushi, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. He has losses to Taiji Ishimori, El Phantasmo, and Sho, and he has a draw with El Desperado. Okay. And then El Desperado, he has victories over Master Wato, Robbie Eagles, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and Doki. He has lost to Yo, Sho, and Taiji Ishimori, and he has the draw with Hiromu Takahashi. So those two are sitting at 9 points. And sitting at the top, first place currently with 12 points, is Sho. Sho is looking very strong. He's only lost twice so far. So Sho has victories over Ryusuke Taguchi, Master Wato, Hiromu Takahashi, Bushi, El Desperado, and Doki. He has lost to Yoshinobu Kanemaru and El Phantasmo. So, I don't know. Sho has been looking really strong at the top of the pack. And honestly, I don't know. Sho might end up winning this. He might actually end up winning this tournament, which would be a first for him. It would be a first. But it would be interesting to see if he ended up winning this tournament. But, you know, looking very strong with only 2 losses, with 3 matches left and only 2 losses. Now, of course, he has to face Taiji Ishimori, Yo, and Robbie Eagles. Now, that ought to be interesting. That ought to be really interesting. Who knows? Maybe Yo might get payback and beat him. But we shall see. But yeah, still got, it looks like everybody has 3 matches left. So it's coming down to the wire. It's coming down to the wire. A lot of people have 8 points. A couple of folks have 9 points. I mean, it's going to be close. It's going to be close. All right, let's look at the World Tag League. Okay, World Tag League. All righty. Sitting at the bottom with 0 points, still have yet to win a match, is the team of Minoru Suzuki and Taka Michinoku. Since Taka Michinoku's return, he has not been able to get on a winning page, period. So far, they have lost to Togi Makabe and Tomoaki Honma. They've lost to Yuji Nagata and Tiger Mask. They've lost to Naito and Sonata, the Dangerous Tekkers, Great O'Karn and Aaron Hanare, the Gorillas of Destiny, and Battle Fale and Chase Owens. So yeah, not looking good for Suzuki and Taka. All right, we got 2 teams sitting at 2 points, which is the team of Togi Makabe and Tomoaki Honma, and Yuji Nagata and Tiger Mask. Okay, let's look at Honma and Makabe. They have the 1 victory over Suzuki and Taka, but they have lost to Tanahashi and Yano, Tenzan and Kojima, Goto and Yoshihashi, Naito and Sonata, Gorillas of Destiny, and Fale and Owens. All right, Yuji Nagata and Tiger Mask, they have the 1 victory over Suzuki and Taka, but they have lost to Tanahashi and Yano, Tenzan and Kojima, Goto and Yoshihashi. They've lost to the Great O'Karn and Aaron Hanare, the Gorillas of Destiny, and Evil and Yujiro. All right. The team that is sitting at 4 points is the team of Hiroyoshi Tenzan and Satoshi Kojima. So they have 2 victories. They have a victory over Makabe and Honma and Nagata and Tiger Mask. They have lost to Goto and Yoshihashi, the Dangerous Tekkers, the Guerrillas of Destiny, Evil and Yujiro, and Fale and Owens. Alrighty. Let's see. We have three teams sitting at 8 points. We have the teams of Hiroshi Tanahashi and Toru Yano. We have the Guerrillas of Destiny, and we have Evil and Yujiro Takahashi. All right, let's look at Tanahashi and Yano. They have victories over Makabe and Honma, Nagata and Tiger Mask, the Great Okarn and Aaron Hanare, and Evil and Yujiro. But they have lost to Goto and Yoshihashi, Naito and Sonata, and the Dangerous Tekkers. All right, let's look at the Guerrillas of Destiny. They have victories over Makabe and Honma, Tenzan and Kojima, Nagata and Tiger Mask, Suzuki and Taka, but they have losses to Goto and Yoshihashi, the Dangerous Tekkers, and Evil and Yujiro. And then Evil and Yujiro, they have victories over Tenzan and Kojima, Nagata and Tiger Mask, Goto and Yoshihashi, and the Guerrillas of Destiny, but they've lost to Tanahashi and Yano, the Great Okarn and Aaron Hanare, and Fale and Owens. Okay, those are the three teams that are sitting at 8 points. Okay, we got 4 teams sitting at 10 points. So we got a 4-way tie at 10 points. And these are the teams. Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi, Tetsuya Naito and Sonata, the Great Okarn and Aaron Hanare, and Bad Luck Fale and Chase Owens. Let's take a look at these standings. So for Goto and Yoshihashi, they have victories over Tanahashi and Yano, Makabe and Honma, Tenzan and Kojima, Nagata and Tiger Mask, and the Guerrillas of Destiny. They have lost to Naito and Sonata and Evil and Yujiro. So still looking pretty strong. All right. Tetsuya Naito and Sonata, they have victories over Tanahashi and Yano, Makabe and Honma, Goto and Yoshihashi, Suzuki and Taka, and Fale and Owens, but they have lost to the Dangerous Tekkers and the Great Okarn and Aaron Hanare. Okay. The Great Okarn and Aaron Hanare, they have victories over Nagata and Tiger Mask, Naito and Sonata, the Dangerous Tekkers, Suzuki and Taka, and Evil and Yujiro, but they have lost to Tanahashi and Yano, Fale and Owens. And then we have Bad Luck Fale and Chase Owens. They have victories over Togi Makabe and Honma, Tenzan and Kojima, Suzuki and Taka, Great Okarn and Aaron Hanare, and Evil and Yujiro, but they have lost to the Dangerous Tekkers and Naito and Sonata. And right now, the top team sitting at 12 points, leading right now, are the Dangerous Tekkers. That's Zack Sabre Jr. and Taichi. They have victories over Tanahashi and Yano, Tenzan and Kojima, Naito and Sonata, Suzuki and Taka, the Guerrillas of Destiny, and Fale and Owens, and they have the one loss against the Great Okarn and Aaron Hanare. So got a handful of teams that are still in the hunt. Still got a good handful of teams in the hunt. It looks like everybody still at least has 2 to 4 matches. No, actually 4 matches left. Yeah, everybody pretty much has 4 matches left. So it's still going to be close. Still going to be really close, but still got a handful of wrestling left in both of these tournaments. You know, it's been really good, and it's hard to really say. It's hard to really say who's going to win this. I mean, you got 4 teams at 10 points, got a couple at 8 points. So, you know, Dangerous Tekkers, don't get too comfortable. because it's still close. But anyway, that's it for the coverage of those two tournaments. All right. A couple of things going on with AEW. So first off, congratulations to the premier athlete, Tony Nese. Of course, on Rampage, he had his TNT title shot against Sammy Guevara. And although he wasn't able to get the victory, he is all elite. So AEW, Tony Khan has signed the premier athlete, Tony Nese, to All Elite Wrestling. So, and you know what? I like Tony Nese. I've kept up with Tony Nese pretty much ever since Impact Wrestling and Evolve. He was in Impact Wrestling a bit. He was in Evolve. He had a few appearances in Dragon Gate USA. Of course, he was a former Cruiserweight champion in the WWE through 205 Live. So, yeah, well built, nice high flyer, very, very quick, very strong, the premier athlete. So I'm happy for him. I think it's a good signing. I think he'll do well in AEW. He's got a lot to offer. Let's see. Oh, we had Ruby Soho versus Chris Statlander in the final quarterfinals of the TBS Championship Tournament. And it was a good match. It was back and forth. It really could have gone either way. But Ruby Soho was able to get the victory over Chris Statlander. It was a good match. It was a really good match, even though the crowd was kind of dead. It was a good match. So we now have our semifinals matchups. So we have Thunder Rosa versus Jade Cargill, and we have Nyla Rose versus Ruby Soho. These are our semifinals. Now, of course, the finals of this tournament will take place on the January 5th show next year. So definitely looking forward to that. But this ought to be an interesting semifinals round. I mean, Thunder Rosa's been on fire since debuting in AEW. Jade Cargill has yet to lose a match. Nyla Rose, like I said, Nyla Rose is former AEW Women's Champion. And Ruby Soho, she's pretty much been on fire since her AEW debut. So this should be a really good semifinals for this tournament. Definitely looking forward to it. These ladies look great, doing their thing. Let's see. That was quite an interesting street fight that Andrade El Idolo and Cody Rhodes had that led to Brandy Rhodes bringing out a table, lighting it on fire. And of course, Cody Rhodes hitting Andrade with a reverse suplex off the turnbuckle through the flaming table, even though Cody Rhodes got the most of the flaming table. Pretty much his whole back was on fire, and he was able to pick up the victory. But it has also been announced that the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, will get his AEW World Championship title shot at Winter is Coming on December 15th of AEW Dynamite. I'm kind of surprised that they're gonna do the title match then. It would have been nice to see them do the title match at Battle of the Belts in Charlotte in January. But I mean, this works, I guess. Winter is Coming. I mean, after all, Winter is Coming. That was the same show that Kenny Omega beat Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship. So I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. It makes sense. And then, of course, this coming Wednesday, we're going to see Bryan Danielson take on John Silver of the Dark Order. He's been kind of picking off each member of the Dark Order one by one, so he still has to go through John Silver, and then he'll have his match against Hangman Adam Page, which is kind of a bummer. We haven't really seen Hangman Adam Page wrestle much since winning the title. So hopefully he'll at least still get in his matches, even as the champion. But yeah. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Dante Martin. You know, he's joined Team Taz. So, you know, Leo Rush is kind of lost for words, but he's a fighter. But looks like he's going to be taking on Team Taz. Man, the main event, Pac and Penta against FTR, man, that was a crazy ending. Pac had the eye patch on. Malachi Black spraying the black mist in his other eye, and then pretty much gouging his eye out. Shoo. FTR removed Penta's mask. Just the utter disrespect. It was crazy. It was a crazy ending to Rampage. But yeah, that's pretty much, you know, the gist of like some of the main stuff going on in AEW. Like I said, we got a great semifinals round in the TBS tournament. I know next week Jamie Hayter will take on Riho, and of course Riho has a AEW Women's title shot coming her way. I'm hoping that they'll let her have her title match at Battle of the Belts in Charlotte. Because if that happens, I will wear my Riho shirt. And I might make a sign, too. So, here's hoping. I hope that happens. Let's see. I know with NXT UK, it was kind of interesting endings. Of course, Meiko Satomura had a successful title defense of the NXT UK Women's Championship. She successfully defended it against Xia Brookside. And then apparently word is she's going to be taking some time off to visit Japan. So I don't know if that's kayfabed or what, but it was said in a backstage interview, which led to Blair Davenport challenging Millie McKenzie to a match, which honestly, if you ask me, I think in due time, I think Blair Davenport is probably going to be the one that dethrones Meiko Satomura. It might not be on the first try, but I mean, when you think about it, hey, Meiko didn't beat Kaylee Ray on her first try. So, but I think Blair Davenport will probably be who dethrones Meiko Satomura, unless Jenny gets like a third title shot and then she finally does it, which it would be kind of nice to see Jenny as the next heel women's champion on NXT UK. I think that would be cool. But we had that match. Ilya Draganov defended the NXT United Kingdom Championship against Rampage Brown. And surprisingly, it ended in a knockout via referee stoppage. Just from Ilya Dragunov doing a jumping enziguri kick. Knocked out Rampage Brown. It was so weird. It was really weird. I mean, I don't know if that was legit or kayfabe or what, but yeah, he got kicked in the head and referee stopped the match. So, I mean, we'll see what's up with that. But yeah, successful defense for Ilya Dragunov, still retaining the United Kingdom Championship. And then let's see, in another week, and one more week, Mustache Mountain will get their NXT UK Tag Team Championship title shot against Pretty Deadly, the current champions. So that should be good. That should be really good. But yeah, some good matches there on NXT UK. Just, kind of a weird ending with that United Kingdom Championship match. And then let's see. And then, of course, the things that stood out for NXT 2.0. So we had the War Games Advantage ladder matches that took place. So for the men, we had Braun Breaker versus Johnny Gargano, and Braun Breaker ended up winning the briefcase and winning the advantage for Team NXT 2.0. So they will have the advantage in War Games. And then for the women, we had Kaylee Ray versus Dakota Kai, and Kaylee Ray won the advantage ladder match for her team. So they're going to get the advantage at War Games. So two great ladder matches that took place on NXT 2.0. Let's see. We also had the team of Kyle O'Reilly and Von Wagner defeating Legado del Fantasma to become the number one contenders to the NXT tag titles currently held by Imperium. So they had that number one contenders match tonight or earlier this week. So we got that. They showed clips, promos for Draco Anthony and I believe Idris Enofe as well, which I thought was kind of interesting. And then, not sure when they're going to debut, but we'll see what happens. And then, of course, we got word that Xia Li will finally debut on SmackDown next Friday. So we'll have to look to see how this whole comic book protector story takes its course when Xia Li finally debuts next Friday on SmackDown. And it looks like Naomi will finally get her match with Sonya Deville, but she can't touch Sonya Deville as long as she's, an official. She can't touch her until she's in her ring gear. And then, of course, she gave Naomi a cheap shot. And, of course, she can't retaliate. That kind of dumb crap. But yeah. And then one thing to take note on Raw. So let me get this straight. They let go of John Morrison, and right after they let go of John Morrison, bam, Miz and Maurice return. Beth Phoenix leaves the NXT commentary table, and then the following week, Edge returns to Raw. Thought that was kind of weird, kind of ironic. But yeah, Edge had his return, and then the Miz and Maurice came down, and they pretty much tried to do what CM Punk and MJF did on AEW, which was gold. But it wasn't a bad attempt, but it just didn't compare. But and it looked like Maurice was dressed with the type of gear she would probably wrestle in. So something tells me Maurice is going to be back in the ring soon. I really hate to see that, but it looks like Maurice is going to be returning into the ring. Oh, hey, what's up, Ace? How you doing tonight? Good to see you. But I really hope Maurice doesn't wrestle. Oh my God, I don't want to see her wrestle. If she ends up wrestling in matches, I'm gonna flip the channel. I'm not even kidding. Not even kidding. RK Bro defended the tag titles, beat the Dirty Dogs, which, I mean, they've gone up against the Dirty Dogs like 3-4 times between like tag matches and singles matches, and pretty much have won each time. Just yeah. And then he says, doing well, man. This week feels 10 times longer than normal. Oh yeah? Has it been a pretty busy week for you? It's been kind of so busy, about medium for me. And oh yeah, so Kevin Owens has been added to the title match for the WWE Championship between Seth Rollins and Big E. Very busy. I feel you. I feel you on that. So pretty much at day one, we're going to have Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins versus Big E for the WWE Championship. Because Seth Rollins decided to be dumb and interfere in the match, attacking Kevin Owens, causing a disqualification victory for Kevin Owens, which all he had to do was win the match, and he's in. So Seth Rollins had a dumb moment. Damian Priest successfully defended the United States title against Apollo Crews. Of course, he went all dark side and finished him off. The Mysterios took out the Hurt Business and such. So, yeah. Raw was just eh. Oh, speaking of which, let me backtrack a second to AEW. I forgot one thing. So it has come to mutual agreement between AEW and Big Swole. Big Swole will had her final day at AEW, so she has left the company. So I'm not sure what's up with Big Swole. I think it might be due to health issues. I could be wrong, but yeah, I really feel for Big Swole. I've seen her live a couple of times through Queens of Combat, through AEW. Like Big Swole, of course, the wife of Cedric Alexander and a great wrestler. You know, she's had some past history with, some health and challenging issues. So I really hope Big Swole will be all right. Ace says, WWE has been very boring. I just can't get into it anymore. Yeah, bro. Honestly, the only thing upcoming that I'm like somewhat invested in is just the 2 War Games matches. That's really the only two things I'm looking forward to. NXT UK is still strong. NXT UK is still strong, but you can only watch that on Peacock. So, but my thoughts and prayers go out to Big Swole. I hope whatever she does next is something that she'll enjoy. I mean, maybe she'll eventually, go back into wrestling or sign somewhere else. But, hope whatever she's going through, I hope everything works out. It's just a bummer. I would have loved to have seen Big Swole with a title run, but, they mutually agreed to, for her to part ways with the company. So, hey, sometimes you got to do what's best for you, and it's not always the popular decision. You know what I mean? But anyway, speaking of War Games, let's go ahead and talk about this War Games card. Ace says, I watch major pay-per-views like Money in the Bank, Royal Rumble, and WrestleMania. So like some of the main ones. I gotcha. Okay. War Games, which will be this Sunday, December 5th at 8 p.m., 5 p.m. Pacific. So we only have 5 matches on the card. Only have 5 matches. We got the 2 War Games matches. And actually, let's just go through each one. So we have the NXT Tag Team titles on the line as Imperium will defend against Kyle O'Reilly and Von Wagner, which honestly, I'm really hoping that Imperium will retain. I don't like this idea of Kyle O'Reilly and Von Wagner on a tag team. I hate this idea. Kyle O'Reilly needs to be a singles wrestler. Unless he's paired up with Bobby Fish, he needs to be a singles wrestler. Plain and simple as that. So just for that, I'm picking Imperium to retain the tag titles. But it makes me wonder what will happen with Kyle O'Reilly. I don't know any specific updates with his contract status, but I don't know. It's still kind of up in the air whether he'll resign or walk. Same thing with Johnny Gargano, but we'll see. But I'm picking Imperium to retain the tag titles. We got ourselves a hair versus hair match. Duke Hudson versus Cameron Grimes. Whew. Of course, you know Cameron Grimes, North Carolinian wrestler. Got to support my North Carolinians. I'm going to have to go with Cameron Grimes. I believe we'll get the victory. And Duke Hudson will get his head shaved. So that's my prediction. But I don't know. It could be an interesting match. It could be an interesting match because these two have really had yet to have a match against each other. They've just been having poker showdowns with each other. So, yeah. And then we got a really, really weird and dumb Cruiserweight Championship match where Roderick Strong, the champion, will defend against Joe Gacy, who is not even a cruiserweight. Honestly, I'll say Roddy Strong retains, but I could care less about this match, to be honest with y'all. Like, Joe Gacy's not even a cruiserweight. Like, why is this even a match? Why is this even a title match? Like, really? Like, why? But supposedly, I heard a rumor that the Cruiserweight Championship may be getting a name change. That's what I've heard. I don't know if it's confirmed or not, but it would probably explain why this is a match. Because like I said, Joe Gacy is not a cruiserweight. Clearly not a cruiserweight. So I don't know. But I'm picking Roderick Strong to retain, but it's not a match that I really care about. I'm not invested in this match. Okay. And then we got the 2 War Games matches. So let's start with the women. So the women's War Games match, we have the team of Toxic Attraction and Dakota Kai going up against the team of Kaylee Ray, Io Shirai, Cora Jade, and Raquel Gonzalez. Now, Kaylee Ray won the advantage ladder match, so their team gets the advantage. And what that means is after the first 2 competitors start out, Kaylee Ray's team will get their first teammate in before the others. I'm kind of at a crossroad with this. This is a very interesting scenario because let's see, this is Dakota Kai's second War Games. This is Toxic Attraction. This is their first War Games match. This is Kaylee Ray's second War Games match, Raquel's second, Io Shirai's third, and Cora Jade's first. I'm kind of at a crossroad with who to pick for this one. Oh no, Ace, I haven't gotten to it yet. I was actually going to save that for last. Wrestlecade, Yeah, I was gonna save that for last. After I go through this War Games card, but Wrestlecade was a blast. Wrestlecade was a blast. So you didn't miss that. You didn't miss that. Um, this is tough. This is really tough because on one hand, I could see Toxic Attraction and Dakota Kai winning, signaling maybe that's where things are over for Io Shirai and she might get the main roster bump. Because realistically, there's really no point for Io Shirai to be on NXT 2.0 any longer after this match. There's really no point. There's really no point. Also, but at the same time, I mean, should Toxic Attraction get the early rub in this match? And then again, usually the team that wins the advantage match usually loses the actual War Games match. You know something? I'll be going for Kaylee Ray's team, but I think Toxic Attraction and Dakota Kai, I think they're going to squeak out the win. I think they're going to squeak out the win. I hope I'm wrong, but I think they're going to squeak out the win. Only because I just feel strongly that Ace says, I feel like Io Shirai has already proved herself to be a top star on the main roster. Here's the thing about that, Ace. Do I agree that she pretty much has nothing more to prove on NXT? Yes. But I'm afraid that what they did with Kairi Sane will be what they do with Io Shirai. That's what I'm fearful for. Is she worthy to be a top star on the main roster? Absolutely. But this is WWE and this is the main roster. So I think it's going to be hit or miss. I think it's going to be hit or miss. I hope the best for Io. I love Io, but I just have that fear that she's going to crash and burn on the main roster. And I kind of have that fear for Xia Li as well. So here's hoping. Kaylee Ray hasn't been on NXT that long, so she'll probably be on there for a while. Raquel Gonzalez, and Raquel Gonzalez might be another one that might get bumped up, but I think they're going to keep her feud with Dakota Kai going a little longer. That's what I think. But I think Toxic Attraction and Dakota Kai might get away with the win on this War Games match. I think they might pull it off. Ace says, Vince says he wants his next international star, but he is doing nothing but wasting them. Yeah, I mean, he's got international stars currently on his main roster. I mean, Tony Storm, Shinsuke Nakamura, but yet not doing anything with them. And it's sad. It's really, really sad. Doudrop, international star. But he doesn't really know how to use good talent, especially international stars. So, yeah. And then we got the men's War Games match. So the men's, we got Team NXT 2.0, which is made up of Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes, Tony D'Angelo, and Grayson Waller. And they will be going up against the NXT OGs of DIY, Pete Dunne, and LA Knight, which is kind of an interesting team. What promotion do you think would be a good fit for Keith Lee? There's a ton of them. AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, MLW, any promotion that will put him on a big stage. If you ask me, AEW would be perfect for him, or New Japan Pro Wrestling. Impact Wrestling, I could see him being Impact World Champion. I mean, you really can't miss with Keith Lee, regardless of where he goes. You cannot miss. That is a talent that you just don't overlook. You don't overlook Keith Lee. So I think it's only a matter of time before a big promotion scoops him up. And I think any of those that I named would be a great fit. Okay, so, of course, Team NXT 2.0, because Braun Breaker won the Advantage Ladder match, they have the advantage. You know something? I think Team NXT 2.0 ends up winning this match. I think something tells me that this will be the end for Johnny Gargano, because word was he signed an extended 1-week contract to finish the storyline, and I think this is where the storyline ends, and Johnny Gargano, the OGs, are on the losing end, and NXT 2.0 wins the men's War Game match. Those are my predictions. But like I said, really the only two matches that I care about the most are both War Games matches. The other ones are just eh. I mean, the tag title match, like I said, Kyle O'Reilly and Von Wagner, I don't like the tag team. The hair versus hair match may be entertaining, but other than that, this looks like a pretty weak card, aside from the War Games matches. So that's how I feel about that. Anyway, okay. Ace says, I have been with WWE through this whole AEW versus WWE thing, but it's getting really hard to cheer for them. So personally for me, it's always been about the wrestlers. I mean, after all, I've never been really a mark for a particular promotion. For me, it's all about the wrestlers. Like, I will support my favorite wrestlers regardless of what promotion they're on, because, that's, buy merch, buy their shirts, whatnot, follow them on Twitter or whatnot. I like showing my support for my favorite wrestlers regardless of what promotions they're on, big or small. That's always been how I've been. Because I will always like pro wrestling regardless. But yes, certain promotions have a stronger product than others, obviously. So that's my take on that. Okay. Wrestlecade. Wrestlecade 2021 took place last weekend in Winston-Salem, North Carolina at the Benton Convention Center. Now, they didn't have one last year due to the pandemic, so they brought it back this year. I went with my good buddy, shout out to Rob Potsy Potchak of the Potsy and Tino show. He tagged along for this trip. We only went Saturday. We only went last Saturday, and it was a lot of fun. Was kind of a rough start at first when we got there, because the line to meet Sting started at 8 a.m. and there was a lot of confusion with where to line at, and the directions we had to do when lining up. We had to get this slip of paper that told us, like, okay, were we getting an autograph or a photo or a combo or whatnot? And then we had to get in a whole different line, and the line was like 600 plus people. So it was really badly organized. But Sting arrived 30 minutes early, because it was supposed to start for him at 10 a.m., but everybody could start lining up at 8 a.m. So Sting came and arrived 30 minutes early, so around 9:30, and started the meet and greet. So it was really cool meeting Sting. He pretty much had the biggest hype, had the most people, was in very high demand the entire Wrestlecade weekend. Let's see. The stars that had the longest lines were Sting, Malachi Black, Thunder Rosa, Kurt Angle, Mick Foley. Kane had a pretty long line. Mickie James had a pretty long line. FTR had a decent size line. But yeah, for the most part, those were the stars that had the biggest lines. So kind of going over who I met. And like I said, the Fan Fest lasted from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So had a good number of hours to get all your meet and greets. And like I said, you're able to pre-order like way in advance before the event. So let's see. Going over the ones that I've met. So met the Ascension, Connor and Victor of the Ascension. They were really cool. Really enjoyed chatting with them. Let's see. I met Mercedes Martinez. And let me tell you what. Now, I'm so used to seeing Mercedes Martinez on camera and on TV, but in person, I got to be honest with y'all. Mercedes Martinez, that is a fine-looking woman. That is a fine woman. I mean, all tatted up and everything, but she is gorgeous in person. And it was really cool chatting with her. Like, my buddy Rob was talking to her about tattoo parlors, because it looks like she's been looking for another tattoo parlor, or looking to get some more work done on one of her current tattoos, or is going to get a new tattoo or something like that. But meeting her in person, Mercedes, she's fine. She's fine. That was a gorgeous looking woman. So I really enjoyed chatting with her. She was so nice. She was really nice. My friend Rob got a podcast spot for his show from Vicky Guerrero, and she did the whole "excuse me" yell for him. So I thought that was pretty cool, that he got that podcast spot. Let's see. Got a chance to meet Buddy Matthews. Buddy Matthews didn't have a line. He really didn't have a line. And talked with him for a bit, and I was so pumped about his match with Okada. He said he enjoyed it, he loved it, and I was wondering about him. I was like, dude, like, I would have loved to have seen you debut in the Best of Super Juniors, but of course he explained, the whole traveling visa issues and such that made it hard for him to do. I mean, after all, he had his match with Okada in the States and not in Japan, so it was kind of a bummer. If that wasn't an issue, I would have loved to have seen Buddy Matthews debut in this year's Best of Super Juniors tournament. But yeah, it was really cool meeting him. He didn't have a line. Met Braun Strowman, aka Adam Shire. He was pretty expensive. Like, I think a photo op, if you didn't pre-order, was like $80. And I think a combo for him was like $130. Like, he was expensive. And word is, me and Rob were chatting with him, he has no plans of signing another pro wrestling contract. He has about 2 or 3 charity shows to perform at, but that's it. He said that he has no desire to be under contract to a promotion. So sounds like that this might be it for Braun Strowman. Unless he eventually has a change of heart, he's not going to be wrestling on any promotion anytime soon or for the foreseeable future, y'all. So I thought that was pretty interesting hearing that from him. Kind of a bummer. He's another North Carolinian wrestler. So, yeah, Braun's. I guess Braun's done. Other than the upcoming charity events he has, it sounds like he's done. So maybe that's probably why he was so expensive. If he's not going to be wrestling under, a consistent basis, but dang, it's just kind of a bummer. Let's see. I met my all-time favorite female wrestler, Gail Kim, and she was gorgeous. And I was super, super nervous around her. She didn't have a line at all. She might have had one person in front of me, but she really didn't have a line. And she was only there Saturday, but oh my goodness, I was so nervous. Like I couldn't even get my words out. But she was really cool, really nice to talk with, and I did get her autograph and a really awesome picture. Of course, this is her rocking the WWE Women's Championship, the TNA Knockouts Tag Team title, and the TNA Knockouts Championship. Of course, she was the first one to win that title. And of course, she won the WWE Women's title on her WWE debut. So, yeah, this was the autograph she did for me. Looking great. So, but yeah, Gail Kim, she loves her fans. She really loves her fans, and she was just an honor and a privilege to meet. Just got to shake her hand, got to chat with her. Like, it was an honor meeting Gail Kim. And it's been complete, y'all. I have met my top 3. My favorite male wrestler, the Great Muta, who I met at Wrestlecade 2019. I've met the Motor City Machine Guns at Best in the World when they came to North Carolina. And I have met Gail Kim at this year's Wrestlecade. So the Trinity has been complete. So was really, really happy about that. Some more wrestlers that I've met. I met the virtuosa, Deonna Purrazzo, and I told her how much I was proud of her and just her career. Like I said, I've followed Deonna Purrazzo ever since she started her ROH career and just how she's grown and has improved in the ring. Really enjoyed her matches. I told her how much I enjoyed her match with Deonna Purrazzo, or not Deonna Purrazzo, her match with Mayu Iwatani, which she had in ROH. That was such a great match. And got a chance to talk with her for a good bit and got her autograph. Deonna Purrazzo, the virtuosa, the Fujiwara armbar specialist. But yeah, former Knockouts champion. But yes, such a great wrestler. She has improved after every match. Really enjoy her. Definitely been a fan of hers. So it was an honor meeting Deonna Purrazzo. She was really sweet. Really, really sweet. Got a chance to meet Switchblade Jay White. And I gotta be honest. He didn't look like he really wanted to be there. Maybe it's just me, but he didn't look like he wanted to be there. But hey, I mean, he didn't have a line either. He didn't have a line, but it just, yeah, he didn't look like he wanted to be there. But it was pretty cool doing the low too sweet with him. So that was really cool. But yeah, he didn't look like he wanted to be there. Just that's the vibe that I got. Let's see. Got a chance to meet Mark Merrow, aka Johnny B. Bad. Somebody that I grew up watching in the WCW days. He was really cool, very nice to chat with and meet. And of course, now he's a motivational speaker. So I thought that was pretty cool. But told him about how much I enjoyed him back in the days as a kid, just watching his matches. Dude was great in the ring. So it was an honor meeting Mark Merrow. Got a chance to meet Barry Windham, one of the original Four Horsemen. And I tell you, I did not recognize him at first. I did not recognize him because, he's a lot older now. But I didn't recognize him at first. So it was really good meeting him, though. He was definitely one of the horsemen I enjoyed, next to Ric Flair. But he was definitely one of the original 4 horsemen that I did enjoy. So, he's even had some historic matches with the Great Muta, my all-time favorite male wrestler. So, yeah, Barry Windham, he was great. He was great. Got a chance to meet Caprice Coleman, which he was at the Busted Open podcast, and he was one of the special guests. And I tell you, man, Caprice Coleman, watched him a lot in ROH. Dude is an excellent talent in the ring. He's been doing commentary. He's been getting a lot of praises from Jim Cornette, and he got a little emotional when Mark Henry was just talking about what everybody's said about him and how Mark Henry was saying that he really wants to be his friend and just, be that shoulder for him and be that positive influence and encourage him. And you could definitely see Caprice Coleman start to tear up a little bit. And, I told him his family was there. His wife and daughter was there. And I told him, I was like, dude, I don't care what anybody says. You are a main event talent. You're a main event talent. And someday I have no doubt, and I hope that he will get his breakthrough. I know ROH is getting ready to go under hiatus. Hopefully it's not a permanent one. It turns out to be temporary. This I'm hoping. But I really want to see. I miss seeing Caprice Coleman in the ring, and he did perform. He did perform at the Super Show. He wrestled Matt Cardona, so that was cool, and he beat Matt Cardona, so that was cool. But man, I really miss seeing Caprice Coleman in action. I love the work he did in ROH, even when he was tag teamed with Cedric Alexander as CNC Wrestle Factory. So, yeah, it was an honor meeting Caprice Coleman. Let's see. Got a chance to meet Mickie James. Met Mickie James. Picked her brain about her first meeting with Asuka. She enjoyed it. Meeting her was really cool. Her and Nick Aldis were there, and their son was there as well in their booth. But yeah, Mickie had a pretty decent line. She had a pretty decent line. So, it was an honor meeting Mickie James. Like I said, she's a current knockout women's champion, a pioneer in women's wrestling, pretty much a legend. She's a legend. Let's call it like it is. She's a legend. The way she was released from WWE was jacked up, but she will always be a legend. So, met the Good Brothers. The Good Brothers, they were really, really cool. Me and Rob got in the picture with the Good Brothers. They were really cool to meet. Let's see. Met Thunder Rosa. And she had a long line. She had a pretty long line. And I was just me and Rob were encouraging, we really want to see Thunder Rosa as a champion in AEW, whether it's the TBS champion or the main AEW women's champion. But we want Thunder Rosa as champion in AEW, ASAP. So I hope that happens for her. Like I said, it was really good meeting her and talking with Thunder Rosa. She is awesome. She had a long line, and it was great. It was really, really great. Let's see. Who else did I meet? There's still a lot more people that I met. Oh my goodness, I'm having a brain fart. Oh, Malachi Black. Met Malachi Black. And he had a long line. Malachi Black had a long line. And I chatted with him about his relationship with Kyle O'Reilly. Apparently, him and Kyle O'Reilly, they go way back. They used to train together, do sparring together. And he was just telling me about more of his Muay Thai background. And dude, Malachi Black, one of the coolest wrestlers to just chill with, to just chat with. Yo, Malachi Black, you could talk to him about anything. He's an open book. He's very chill. He loves his fans. He was amazing. He was amazing. I mean, just when he's just Tommy End, like, he is so cool. One of the chillest wrestlers. So it was really honored to chat with Malachi Black. That was so much fun meeting him. Let's see, met FTR, and I was telling Cash Wheeler, I was really happy to see how well his recovery was. He still feels a little bit of the tinglingness in that arm that he injured in the Charlotte show that I went to, where it got caught on the turnbuckle. I was there live when it happened. It was not a pretty sight. So thankfully, I told him, dude, I'm so thankful that you're back, that you healed up, continue to recover and such. But meeting FTR, they were really cool. They were really, really cool. Let's see. Oh, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Oh my goodness. We had story time with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. So check this out. Something that was supposed to happen that never happened. Him and Bret Hart were supposed to square off. Long time ago. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Bret Hart. That was supposed to happen and become a rivalry. Not only that, because we have to remember, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat was a face his entire career. He was a face. He tried twice, at least twice, to get ideas pitched to have a heel run. Tried twice. Never happened. And just like hearing him go into that and just talk about that I was just like, wow, I never would have imagined. Because like I said, Ricky Steamboat was a face his entire wrestling career, and it's something that's kind of rare these days. I think the only other person that comes to mind, I think Junkyard Dog, the late Junkyard Dog, who's also from North Carolina, was a face his entire career. I think Coco Beware was a face his entire career. Yeah. But yeah, like, I feel like it's been kind of rare. It's been kind of rare. But yeah, we had story time with Ricky's Dragon Steamboat that lasted at least a good 30, 35 minutes. It was so cool chatting with him and just him like broadening and opening our eyes with his stories. And I tell you, you just never know sometimes until you really pick these wrestlers' brains. They'll open up. They'll definitely open up. And Ricky the Dragon Steamboat definitely did that. And that was a memorable experience. Also, during the Busted Open podcast, they did a live edition at the show. Met Mark Henry. He was one of the co-hosts, so met Mark Henry. Met the main host, Dave De La Greca. Or David La Greca. And I was really pumped meeting him because I was wearing my Stars shirt from Stardom, representing Stars, the stable Stars. I challenged him. I was like, I'm going to challenge to see how well you know pro wrestling. do you recognize this shirt? And he immediately said yes. He recognized that shirt. He knew it was Stars from Stardom. I was so impressed because nobody else, other than Deonna Purrazzo, but it wasn't until I showed the back of my shirt and she saw Stardom, that's what she knew. But nobody else at that show, at Wrestlecade, knew what my Star shirt was, but Deonna Purrazzo and Dave LaGreca. Those were the only two people. I was impressed. I was very impressed. But hey, I wanted to wear something and represent something unique. That was still pro wrestling that maybe not a lot of people knew about. I like doing those sort of things. You know what I mean? So anyway, had a fun time checking out the Busted Open live podcast. They had Mark Henry. They had Danhausen. Danhausen was a guest. They had Matt Hardy as a guest. And they had Caprice Coleman. So I thought that was really cool. Izzy of Izzy Mania was there. I got to meet her, had a picture with her. So, yeah, that's pretty much everybody that I met. Then they had the Wrestlecade Super Show after the Fan Fest, which they had a handful of matches. Let's see, they had, like I said, they had Matt Cardona versus Caprice Coleman. Let's see, they had, oh man, they had Matt Hardy versus Enzo, which that was kind of wacky. They had Eric Rowan versus PCO. That was pretty good. They had a 25-man battle royal that was won by Shane Taylor. He won the battle royal. Swoggle made an appearance, and they did a tribute to New Jack through C.W. Anderson. Had his music playing, had his video package playing during the battle royal. So they did a tribute to New Jack. The main event was Malachi Black versus Buddy Matthews, and it was an incredible main event. I mean, just think about it. This main event at Wrestlecade, not at WWE or anything like that, they got a chance to really showcase and have a good long match, and that they did. And it was excellent. Now, of course, Malachi Black won, and he got on the mic and he praised Buddy Matthews. He was like, hey, no matter where I go, you seem to be right there. And whether we're engaged in a match or in a promo, like, you are one of the best that I've ever gone up against. And I hope that we can continue, as opponents or even fighting alongside each other. So great endorsement from Malachi Black to Buddy Matthews. But yeah, we had a triple threat. The ladies wrestled. We had Mercedes Martinez versus Deonna Purrazzo versus Thunder Rosa. And I tell you, the crowd went wild for Thunder Rosa. It was a great match. Of course, Thunder Rosa won. But these ladies did great. These ladies did really great. And like I said, it was a sold-out Super Show. And, of course, after the Super Show was the Busted Open podcast. So that was how I ended the event. And it was just so much fun. It was so much fun. Really, really enjoyed Wrestlecade 2021. We didn't get home. I think it was a little after midnight or 12:30 in the morning when we finally got back to Raleigh, Durham. Because, it's not that long of a drive from Winston-Salem, but we made a stop for gas and for had cookout. So that was really good. But I encourage any wrestling fan, whether you're in North Carolina or outside of the state, I definitely recommend Wrestlecade. It's a fun event. It's great. As a matter of fact, tickets go on sale for Wrestlecade 2022 on January 2nd. So keep an eye out. They also offer, hotel next to the Benton Convention Center. I think it's the Marriott. But yeah, I definitely highly recommend attending Wrestlecade. Lord willing, I plan on attending next year. And it's usually always the weekend of Thanksgiving. So it usually starts that Black Friday, and it's a 3-day event. It's a 3-day event. Like I said, I only went on Saturday, but who knows? Maybe next year I might go for the full weekend. I've never been to the full weekend, so I might consider that. Here, we'll see. But I might do that. But WrestleCade was a blast. I got to pretty much meet everyone that I wanted to meet. I was kind of bummed about the Lucha Bros. Phoenix couldn't be there, so only Penta was there. So I really wanted to meet both, but who knows? Maybe both will be back next year. We'll see. But yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that pretty much wraps up this episode of Pro Wrestling Talk. Like I said, this Sunday. Oh, one more thing. Actually, I wanted to throw in there. Apparently, this became official, but Andrade and Charlotte Flair have split. They've split. They're no longer together. Wow. That, I did not expect that. Apparently, like, one deleted the other off of Twitter and Instagram, but yeah, apparently they're not a couple anymore. I don't know what the heck happened, but yeah. Just thought I'd throw that in there, but yeah, they're no longer a couple. But okay, that's all that I have. But like I said, my prayers and well wishes for Konami and for Big Swole. But we got NXT War Games this Sunday, which will be the official last pay-per-view of the year for WWE. And like I said, we got Winter is Coming in AEW. Kicking off the new year for WWE will be Day 1 pay-per-view. So they're going to have 2 pay-per-views in January with Day 1 and Royal Rumble. But and Liv Morgan gets her Raw Women's Championship match next week on Monday Night Raw, which, I don't know. If they were going to do a contract signing, you would think for a contract signing that would be for a title match at a pay-per-view, but that ain't happening. So what can you do? But anyway, that's it for this episode. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will see y'all soon with the my recap of NXT War Games after the event. So look forward to that. Anyway, I'm Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram signing off for this episode of Pro Wrestling Talk brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming. Hope everybody has a blessed weekend, and I will see y'all soon. Good night, everybody. Peace out.